everyone, today I'll be having this brand new documentary just dropped on Netflix called A Deadly Marriage. And this documentary is like 1 hour something long. And watching this documentary, it's just like all the upside down about it. It was just shocking, like unbelievable, this documentary. And the way this documentary ends, I just like so heartbroken. So in this documentary starts with, we see Molly Corbett and Jason Corbett. They are married, they have 2 kids. But these 2 kids is from Jason Corbett, his previous marriage, and he is from Ireland. But one night when Jason Corbett, he was like pushed down the stairs, and he was like, later on we find out he was brutally murdered. And later on, as this documentary goes on, like we learn that Molly Corbett, she really killed him in this, and with the father help, like with her father helped. And later on, these children, like he has these 2 children from his previous marriage, and we learn that Molly Corbett, like Molly, she was really very good mother to these 2 children, and like she taught these children to lie to the police, like Jason was very abusive father and husband. And yeah, as this documentary goes on, like I don't want to talk about the ending right now if anybody have not seen, because it's kind of like spoiler. So the way this documentary starts, I didn't know honestly anything about this family drama and nothing about it. So as the audience, if you don't know anything about these people, and as you start watch this documentary, it's just like, damn, the way it's unfold in front of the audience, it's like really shocking as it goes on, because you don't know who is the bad guy behind it. Like as it goes on, it became clear that I guess Molly, she did in fact kill Jason with the help of her father. But like halfway through, we actually learn that Jason is not as good guy as he seems. He might have, like he didn't kill intentionally, but he did in fact strangle his ex, like his previous wife who passed away in this documentary. And when that part comes to this part of this documentary, I just like shocked. I was just really shocked. Because I really thought, I didn't thought this will happen to these people. Of course, the kids who were only 8 and 10 years old, they like face all this thing in their life. Of course, later on when they go to court and testimony, and when I was listening to these kids, their point of view, like now that they're learning that Jason, he might have been abusive toward Molly and their mom, this is a really hard thing to learn when you are little kids. Now that they are teen, this is really lifetime trauma you are seeing played out here. And it just really broke my heart, because end of the day, like I know many people will have different opinion on this. Like end of the day, I felt like this is really was a deadly marriage here. Like Jason, he wasn't perfect guy, he was, like based on the evidence, that is what I thought. He was kind of like abusive toward these women, and Molly, she was kind of like also very, kind of like a psycho, she's trying to take over like ex-husband kids. So that is also like kind of like a psycho here, but I guess that is why it's really messed up, this documentary, because she was also trying to take these kids. These are not her kids, you know what I mean? And she didn't adopt them, so she had no right toward them. So, and also end of the show, these kids really hate Molly. And I was there thinking, oh, Molly, you are in such a bad situation, That means I feel like overall this documentary is very like emotionally entertaining. It does have all this upside down. I just shocked. That is based on my opinion, that I didn't know anything about it, I suppose. But if for people who know about this murder case, for them might be a little bit different watching this, because that like she killed him and everything, because I didn't know like she really killed him intentionally or not. So I was really edge of my seat. I don't know how many people will know about this. So if you don't know anything about it, this is beyond, it was thrilling watch. I was really edge of my seat. I was like, wow, she really killed him to get his kid, like from his ex-wife. That's just like unbelievable story here. End of it, I guess the kid just hate her because she end of the day did take their father from them. You know what I mean? Like, and I honestly, I did feel bad for like Jason's ex-wife. I forgot her name. I felt bad for her because she was also getting abused by this guy. End of it, you know. How can you support him either? So you know what I mean? Like, she did strangle her. Later on, she was dead. So I cannot support Jason, obviously, knowing she did do this to the previous wife. And yeah, it did not sit well for me. So end of this documentary, if I'm being honest, I didn't feel that bad for Jason. That is based on the documentary I saw, because that guy, he was like, that is what I was thinking watching this. Like, I felt bad for the previous wife, if I'm being honest. That is, I'm gonna say. I know a lot of people will feel bad for Jason because he was brutally, like, you know, murder here. Wow, he was just brutally murdered in this. And this documentary just brings it up in your face. Like, all this blood and everything keeps bringing in my face. And I was just there thinking, wow, just stop showing me. Because the detective, they keep describing like they just really killed him very brutally. So that is, I guess, that is the reason, I guess, Molly, she did got sentenced for 20 years. Then I guess the case reopened and everything. Watching this documentary, it's just like mind blowing. I was like, wow, the people are really go extra length for their own goal. You know what I mean? Like, this is sad world we live in. Like, why you are like trying to take over his kid? So like, what if you're a good mom, they'll come back to you later on. You know what I mean? Like, why you are trying to take over someone else's kid? How is that right? You know what I mean? Yeah, this documentary is really, I feel like this will be a huge hit on Netflix. It definitely is very emotionally entertaining, and it is really messed up. And that was my thought on this. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this documentary? If you enjoyed this review, don't forget your other reviews and other documentary. If you enjoy this, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Please take care.